Hello, welcome back or welcome to my channel. It is Sunshine Lorena. So, I am doing another reading vlog, guys. It is Monday the 31st of October and I'm going to be starting already on my October TBR. It's a day early, it's fine, guys. And I'm going to be picking up White Teeth by Zadie Smith. So if you watch my November TBR, you'll see that basically I did this video of books that will self-destruct in 12 months back in February, and I've literally not read a single one of them. One of which is White Teeth by Zadie Smith. So what I'm trying to do over the next few months is read a few of these each month to try and get them done before they're going to self-destruct, or you know, just DNF them basically. But I'm going to try, and this is one that I really want to read. I've had it on my TBR for like years, guys, years and years. It is a chunker. It's like over 500 pages. I have others on my TBR this month, like The Girl in the Dragon Tattoo, which is also over 500 pages. So I really chose my TBR really well. But yes, I want to try and read this week, because next Monday, Girl Marathon is starting. So ideally I'll get this done this week. I've also managed to get the audiobook from the library, and it is like 18 hours long. So it's a big book, guys. It is a big book. All I know about this one is that it follows three families. I believe it's literally fiction. It's following around their friendship, love, war, three cultures and three families over 3 generations, one brown mouse, and the tricky way the past is coming back and biting you on the ankle. So yes, it's going to be really interesting to read and see what it's actually about. I really like this cover, actually. It was her debut. I've never read any of her books and I keep saying that I need to do it, so I'm going to do it now. That's why we're doing this vlog. We are going to read this, so at least one book won't self-destruct in February because I would have read it. I can do it. I can do it, guys. I have a lot of books on my TBR this month, but I'm going to be able to do it. So yes, I will check in with you once I've actually started reading this, because I haven't started yet, and let you know like kind of initial thoughts and feelings and stuff. And yeah, I'll come back to you when I have read a bit of a chunk of this one. Really love this line. Where you come from, it's customary to boil vegetables until they fall apart. That does not mean that it's a good idea. They were speaking about how it was a conversation between Archie and Samad, and this is like in the past, and Samad is telling him that there is an arranged marriage for him, but his wife isn't actually been born yet, because the family they arranged it with, they haven't had a daughter yet. I just thought that was quite a funny response. Hello, so it is Wednesday the 2nd of November. I'm just back from work. I had to travel to a different office today, so a bit late and a bit tired, but reading update for you guys. So I'm now almost halfway through. So I'm now on page 244. I am enjoying it. Now I know in the description it said about 3 families, but actually there's only 2 families. So I'm not too sure if the 3rd family is going to come into this at some point. But the main glue of these 2 families is Archie and Samad. They're friends, and they actually met when they were fighting in World War II together at the very end. And Archie got married to Clara like early on in the book, who was much younger, because this starts off in the 70s, who's much younger than him. She's his second wife. And then Samad, that clip I think I did of the quote, his wife again is around about the same age as Clara. She is much younger obviously than him as well. And so Samad has twin boys and Archie has a girl, and they're like the same age because they end up being pregnant at the same time. And it's just the story about them growing up across the 70s, 80s at the moment they were in, and I think it keeps going through the years. So now the kids are teenagers. It's been interesting, so we got the backstory of their friendship, how they met, and then you've got obviously the early years of the marriage. It's been happening throughout the children's lives and the different events. It's like literary fiction, so you get lots of different events, character building. It's been interesting. At the moment I wouldn't know what to rate it, depends how what it turns out, but it's interesting because it's kind of showcasing that kind of modern multicultural Britain of how it was starting. I forgot to mention Archie, because he's English, his wife is Jamaican. I think she moved over as a child or something, I think. So the kids from both of them are like first generation. So it's very much representing that. You do get showcasing some bits and pieces of racism, because obviously things were very different back then as well. And it's been really interesting. I don't have much else to say at the moment, but I am enjoying it. But like I said, no third family at the moment, so it's going to be interesting what happens. There's something that happened that I was actually surprised at. Can't really say otherwise, the spoilers, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm actually getting through this quite quickly at the moment. I'm listening to the audiobook as well. I mentioned this from the library, so it definitely is helping. And that is it in terms of reading update. Yeah, and I will speak to you when I have another update. Friday the 4th of November. Okay, so a little reading update for you. I am now on page 309, so I'm not that much further on from when I last spoke to you on, was it Wednesday? I think the last time I gave you a little update. So yes, I just thought I'd give you another update on this. I am finding the chapters quite long. So I feel like it's taking me a while to get through it. So I feel, in general, I prefer short chapters. I just find that it makes me get through the book a lot quicker. Personal preference, obviously. We're now on Iri's section, which is the daughter of Archie. So we've changed narrator again. So I don't think I mentioned this before, but we started with Archie, and then went to Samad, and now it's Iri. And each time you're following that character, you have a different narrator. So obviously you get other bits and pieces about the others' lives as well, because obviously they're all interconnected, but we're very much not focusing on the parents anymore, and we're now on the children. And I think they're about 15 here, so they're teenagers, and it's kind of what they're going through. It's the 90s, usual teenage stuff, but also the fact that obviously they racism's come into play, lots of different bits and pieces. So I do find that bit that interesting. I'm going to put this down because my arm hurts. So yes, I am finding that kind of aspect really interesting. But yes, I think what I'm missing from this is that I'm not really caring about the characters too much, and I don't know if it's because I can't see what the purpose of this is. Like, we're following their lives, their stories, but what is the end goal? And I think, when you read a thriller, obviously you're trying to work in the mystery. When you're reading a romance, you're rooting for the romance. But with this, I don't really know where it's going. I don't know what the purpose of the story is. Is it just covering off their lives and that's what we're reading? I don't know, but I'm finding myself not overly invested in what's happening to our characters. I feel like there hasn't been a rapport built up with the characters that we're following. But I am enjoying it. It was her debut, so it did well at the time, but that's what I'm finding at the moment for me personally on reading this. But also I find that, okay, fine, we got lots of Archie and Samad and their friendship, but the wives in general, we've not got that much from them, about their characters. It's been more the husbands and then now the kids that you're getting. And like I said, there is still no sign of this third family that I mentioned on the back, so we have to wait and see how that pans out. But that's where I'm at. That's my current thoughts. It's a lovely, beautiful, sunny day. Wish I didn't have to work, but because it will be dark by the time I finish work, because we're in that time of the year, which is this fantastic. But yes, hopefully I need to kind of get to 386, so that if I can read enough tomorrow and Sunday, I finish at the end of the week. That's my aim on this one, so I can start Gull Marathon without any other books hanging over me. So yes, I want to get a good chunk of this done today if I can, and then read across the weekend and keep you updated on my thoughts. But yes, I'm glad I finally picked this up. I don't know what my rating's going to be. Probably 3 stars. I feel like it's sitting at the moment. But I've got a feeling this is probably going to be one that I won't read again, and it'll probably be an unhaul. And that's the purpose of me doing the self-destruct books, is so that I don't have books sat on my shelves that I'm not reading, that I don't want to be there. So we'll need to wait and see how it pans out, but that's it for me from the moment, and I will update you once I get another chunk of the way through, probably at the end of the section maybe before we get on to, I think then it's the twins, and I feel like they might be the last section. Yes, they are the last section. I was just looking at the title top, they're the last section. And also there's a name on there that I've not seen yet, so that's gonna be interesting. And that's it for the moment, and I will speak to you later. Hello, it is Sunday. I have conditioner in my hair, and that's why it is like this. And I've just finished Imri's section, so I'm going to go to the final section just now. So Imri is the daughter of Archie and Clara, and it's been following her teenage years, so like 15 to like 17. And yeah, it's been really interesting to see how she's been dealing with growing up, changing, you know, cultural differences, etc. And it was quite an interesting chapter. It also involved obviously Millet as well. And yes, it was interesting to see things from her perspective, development of her character. So yeah, interesting, definitely. Now I'm going on to the, like I said, the last section, which is Majid, Millet and Marcus. And I forgot to mention, sorry, in the last section, we were introduced to who I believe is this third family. So yes, finally they made an appearance. But yes, I'm going to the last section. I have like about 120-ish pages. I want to try and get this done today if I can, because Gil Marathon starts tomorrow, so I'm going to try and focus on that this afternoon, and yes, hopefully give you like a final update and my final thoughts on this one. Like I said, I think it's still sitting at like 3 stars at the moment. Interesting to see the development of the characters, but I don't feel any sort of, at the moment I don't really feel like I care too much about what's going to happen to them, so let's see. I am giving it 3 stars. I thought the writing was good, but there was a few points that I just think didn't hit the mark for me, and then reading some people's reviews, I felt the same sort of agreement with them. So the way it ended and started, you had Archie as the main person of content at that point, but like you lost him in the middle. Like we didn't really see that much of his story, but yet the beginning and the ending was heavily involved for him, which I thought was a little bit odd. Also, we lost Clara's voice, his wife, partway through when she had like a really good chapter, and it would be really interesting to get more from her perspective. And yes, it's just the third family came in quite late. I thought it was more than 50% way through the book that they were introducing to the plot. And yeah, it's kind of like I never really got a sense of where it was going, like what the purpose was of this book. Like I said, I think the writing was good, it's just there was a bit too much characters for me, but I still think it's a good solid read. But yeah, glad I read it. So at least I have one book read from my self-destruct TBR out of the way. Only 11 to go before February. But yeah, let me know if you've read this, what you thought of it, and yes, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you next one. Bye.